thanks for tuning in again to Chef Dean Parks YouTube. Really appreciate all the great feedback and comments and support. I know Kai's loving it, he's getting more support than me. But anyway, we're going to do a real simple dish that I love, is just pork spare ribs. You can actually just put it in the slow cooker, set and forget, about 8 hours, just breaks down the connective tissue, as tender as anything, really moist. And then you can either put it on the barbecue, under the grill, or even in the oven to finish them off. So let's get in. I'm going to do a dry rub first on top of it. I'm going to leave it overnight, and then we're going to finish it off in the sauce, and I'll show you how to do that. I hope you like it. Okay, what a lot of people don't realise, with the ribs, you really have to remove the inner sinew from the actual rib lining, the rib cage. If you don't do that, then your ribs will start to toughen up as they're cooking, and they won't be able to fall apart nice and easy. So I'll just get you to come in here and I'll show you. The method is obviously, if you can try and slip your fingers under the membrane and just get your fingers under there and just keep slipping them along, pushing them forward to the meatier section, and keep working along like that, along the rib section, until you actually remove this sinew. Alright, so as you can see, this is basically the sinew that's come off the pork ribs, and it is quite tough. So that won't break down. So make sure you try and remove that to really get those tender, juicy ribs. You want to just dry rub the pork ribs overnight, or you can leave it about 2 hours is fine. Overnight I find it just starts to infuse a little bit more into the meat. You can do many dry rubs. I've got to make Brett Hartwell. He actually does a chocolate and chili dry rub, which is amazing. This one, I've just picked these up from Woolies. It's just a Tennessee smokehouse rib. These pre-made dry rubs are fine, and the good thing is if you really want a smoky flavour, if you don't have a smoker at home, you can actually use these. They do have a smoke essence in it, and this is just a smokehouse Tennessee style. I'm going to rub that now over the pork, and we're going to just put it in a Ziploc bag and then leave it overnight to marinate. So obviously I need to make sure this will be able to fit into the slow cooker. So the best way to actually do it is just look at the rib section. I'll just get you coming close. You can see the ribs run through here. And the easiest way, so you're not cutting through the actual bone, is just run down through the ribs. And we're going to now marinate this overnight in the Ziploc bag. And we're going to cook it in the morning. Let's go barbecue ribs. Kai, it's the morning.
Barbecue ribs, yummy.
Let's go.
Yes.
Okay, so there's the ribs. They've been marinating overnight with the dry rub. So you can see it's actually started to cook the meat a little bit, all the salts and that. So we're going to actually put this into the slow cooker, but there's another option you can do. If you have a smoker at home, just put them through the smoker to dry them off, cook them, and then you can finish them on the barbecue with your baby rays on top, or you can actually, the sauce I'm making, reduce that down to go on top of your ribs. So they're going to go into the slow cooker, okay, on a low heat, and now we're going to make our sauce mix. We're going to make the sauce mix up here. I actually use a bit of Coca-Cola. You can use brown sugar if you want, 300 mils there. We've got the garlic clove. We'll just slice that up, and that's going to go into the slow cooker. I've got the 300 mils of barbecue sauce. The Baby Ray's has that smoke essence in there. A tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, bay leaves. Star anise gives it a really nice flavour. A couple of peppercorns, and then your chicken stock, 250 mils. Okay, so we've got the liquid in here in the slow cooker. You can see all the liquids there. Just make sure your ribs have actually been turned around in the liquid, just so it's covering, and I will turn them once. All right, so this is now set for 8 hours. If you're going to do it on the stovetop, just in a pot, do it for about 3 to 4 hours on a really low heat. Just keep adding moisture to it if it starts to evaporate. so the ribs have been 8 hours. I've just turned them off. So the best thing to do now is we need to reduce that sauce down to make that really nice, rich glaze. So be really careful bringing these ribs out because they are so soft. The connective tissue is all broken down. So just leave them off to the side while we reduce this sauce down. Right, so we've got the braising liquid there. We're now going to just pour that into a fry pan through a sieve. We're going to reduce this glaze down, and that's what we're actually going to put on top of our spare ribs. The best thing about this, not only do you have the baby rays in there, the barbecue sauce, we've also got the star anise, the garlic, the bay leaves, so you're actually giving an additional flavour to the actual sauce. So we're going to turn that on to a medium heat and reduce that down. Okay, so the sauce is reduced down nicely, coats the back of the spoon. What we're going to do, I'm going to now put these in under the grill with a little bit of the sauce. Now, if you're really wanting the barbecue is a good thing too, you can always just run them over the barbecue to give them a bit of a char mark. That is up to you. So I'm just going to do these under the grill just to get a little bit of caramelisation on top. The ribs are so tender. Just be really careful handling them because they will fall apart. So we're just going to put them under here, get a little bit of colour. I'm just going to really gently turn these over and just nappe the other side of the ribs with the sauce. Be really careful, these are so tender now. Okay, so just... Here's the ribs, they've got a bit of colour there, so we're just going to now serve that up. You can see how tender that is. Okay, so we're just going to place this over onto the board. Got our potatoes there, the baked potatoes. I've got some of the leftover glaze there to put on top if you need it. Just going to push these potatoes. I've cut across in them like I showed you before. It's so much easier to just be able to put your butters or your sour creams, whatever you want, into there. And then there we go.